What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Cooking with Clams. I'm Will. I'm down here in Key West, and it is the last day of lobster season. I'm not sure when this video is going to go up because I travel back and forth from New York to Key West and a lot of places in between, so this might go up a little bit after. So before anyone says season's over, it's the last day of season. We're going to head up the Keys, get in the water, and fingers crossed we find a couple of keepers, if not just one. And if we don't come up with some lobsters, I am positive we will come up with some spider crab.
Nice call. Nice. Too full. So Okay. Perfect. Look at that. Just too short. I mean, too questionable. We're gonna put him back. Oh, he's gone. Here it goes. Yeah.
What an incredibly nice way to close out lobster season. I'm just happy there is one legal one, and we got a couple of other delicious critters. Not too bad. Oh, that guy popped his claw. All right. Okay. I was in the water, believe it or not, for a good 2 hours. That's how little lobster was there. But I threw them into a trap and threw them into the canal so that I could deal with them today. I'm gonna throw them on ice. I have ice here, and that's gonna put them to sleep in a stasis, not kill them, but slow them down enough that they're not really conscious. And then we're gonna cook them and make crab lobster tamales. Our last lobster of the season. Not a monster, but I'll take it. All right, we'll let those guys chill for a couple of hours, and that will put them to sleep. So we got a rolling boil. And the reason why it's discolored is because it's Himalayan pink salt in there. That was the most salt we had, but I wanted heavily salted water. These guys are taking a little ice nap. So we're only gonna do them for 6 minutes. And the reason why is because they're going into the tamales and they're gonna cook again. All right, we're gonna wait for that to come up to temp and then put the other two in. These guys feel a little light. We'll see. Oh, they're good. There we go. Big old chunk of meat. All finished. We got probably about 1.5 pounds of meat there. Pretty good. Did a rough chop just on the tail, and everything else is about the size I want it. To go with our lobster and crab tamales, I'm gonna make a very simple black bean soup. So I have here chopped white onion, garlic, and the ends of a few scallions. Sweat that down. Now these beans I soaked overnight. They were dry beans. Now to this I'm going to add some cumin, some smoked paprika, some ancho chili, garlic salt, a little bit of oregano, and pepper. These are dried arbol chilies. Now we're going to bring this up to a boil, then down to a simmer, and cook it down and down and down until those beans are nice and soft. We might have to add a little bit of water as we go, just to make sure we get the right consistency. We're gonna get our sauce ready for the middle of the tamales. So I have here big old garlic clove, crush that guy, throw him in, and then I have a chili negro, chili mulatto, and chili ancho. And basically these are all different stages of a poblano. So we're gonna de-stem and take the seeds out of each of these because they can lead to a bitter flavor. And we're not making a ton of sauce, just enough to coat the lobster and crab. I don't want to cover up their natural flavor too much. This is just to enhance it. To these guys, we're adding boiling water just to soften them up, and we'll let this sit for a bit and then throw it in the blender. Now for the tamales themselves, I have here maseca, which is ground corn flour. Gonna add some garlic salt, some white pepper, some cumin. Now we're gonna add, I have beef tallow. You could add any kind of fat. In essence, this is just, it's just lard. We're gonna mix that up until we get kind of crumbly consistency. And then we're gonna add water. Okay, now we mix in our water. For me, the easiest way to do this is by hand, a little bit at a time. That way I can feel the consistency. And with that said, the consistency that you're looking for is that of hummus, if you've ever had hummus. So a bit wetter than if you were making tortillas, but not as wet as, say, pancake batter. I just want to point out, so right now we're at a bit of a Play-Doh consistency, but I want it just a little bit wetter than this. So I'm going to keep slowly adding the water little by little until we get there. Okay, we are there. So it's like a nice thick hummus. Now let's prep our banana leaves. All I do, so almost boiling water, and we're gonna dip our banana leaves in for about a minute just to make them a little bit easier to work with. Enough so that when we go to roll them, they don't crack. Our peppers have soaked long enough that they're soft, so we're gonna give them a blend. All I'm gonna add to this is a little bit of salt and like a dash of oil and just a little bit of our water here. Touch more. So what this does by passing it through, as you can see here, that's all the skins and any seeds that I missed or anything like that. So now what we're left with is a really smooth, perfect texture salsa. Really, we just want to dress this. We're not trying to make it super saucy. And also, those peppers have a mild heat level on them. It's not over the top. All right, now our meat's ready. Let's build our tamales. Also, this you can rub on chicken, steak, pork chops, on fish, really on anything you want, and then cook it. It is incredible. This right here is probably the best tool for tamales. I did a tamale episode before, and somebody turned me on to this and said you gotta get a spackle. And obviously as you go through this, the more you do, the faster you'll get. But we have our masa there. Our crab and lobster filling. Then we're going to roll these like that. Give it a fold and a fold and a fold. There you go. So I stuffed them pretty good with all the lobster and crab meat. So we only got, what is that, 3, 6, 7, 8 of them. If you got your limit during lobster season, oh my gosh, you can make 50 of these. So let's get them into the steamer. So we got a boil going on in there. I'm gonna line the bottom with a few of the extra banana leaves just so that we got a little bit of insulation there. Our tamales. Also, I want to add, not only did we par cook the lobster and the crab, but we also had it in the fridge for a while. And that's gonna cool it down and really give us some breathing room here so that it doesn't overcook. And a couple banana leaves on top. I'm gonna let that run for about 30 minutes. While our tamales are cooking, we're gonna make a little cucumber salsa to put on top. And this will also be for on top of our soup. Oh, that's a good one. Now this is very important. I pulled my tamales. You have to let them rest for at least a couple of minutes. Otherwise, when you open them up, they're just going to fall apart. That is perfection. We're going to go just a little dollop of sour cream. I know. Seafood and dairy, but we're breaking rules here. Cucumber salsa on top. Our black bean soup. All right, guys. Oh, wait, one more thing. I have here some queso fresco that's also in a banana leaf, so seems right. Just a little bit of that in our soup. Do a little on our tamale as well. Since we're breaking rules, let's go. There you go. Our black bean soup with lobster spider crab tamale in a banana leaf. Let's eat. Okay. It is breezy outside. That's the only reason I'm not eating out there. Let's dig into the tamale. Let's do a bite, not with anything, without the sour cream or anything like that. Just lobster, crab, and the cornmeal. Lobster and the crab shine through. Now our black bean soup. Now one of the other things I thought about, but this episode is probably already long enough. I was gonna add another step and I was gonna reserve all the shells from the lobster and the crabs and make a stock to make our black bean soup. But that's a delicious black bean soup. It didn't need it. I just wanted to try to utilize everything. Like I said, one of the reasons I didn't was that this would end up being a very, very long episode. With that said, for anyone that stuck it out, because I know that this is a long episode, as a thank you, I'm trying to run out of all of my merch so I can get new merch in. And I know I'm out of a bunch of sizes, so what's there for you guys, take another 35% off. Do all capital letters, Clams 35, when you check out, and it'll give you a pretty good discount on what's left in there. And then hopefully by summertime, we'll get some new stuff in. Even though we only got one keeper, I think we closed out lobster season with style. And so one of the things too, that little bit of beef tallow and keeping that kind of almost wet, like I said, like a hummus consistency. That tamale, very juicy. Great consistency. I'm gonna unwrap probably 2-3 more of these, finish my soup, and then I'm probably gonna go out and try to do some bridge fishing. I'm gonna try to get as much content to you as I can from here. On that note, thanks for coming along on this adventure, and I'll see you on the next one.